What's up, guys? Luna Wolf MXS here. Another story time. I'm doing these story times because there's nothing I could really show you that would be interesting to you. I could film the base, but then the security forces guys get mad because they're like, hey, don't film here. Even though you can get on Google Maps and look at any Air Force base in the world, even Russian Air Force bases. You can get on Google Maps and do Street View and walk through the Air Force base. So it's kind of stupid they won't let you take pictures or whatever. But so I'm doing the story times just to kind of fill time till I figure out if I'm going to get a computer or not and start doing the reaction videos. All right, still a little bit under the weather, but I think I'm getting better. I'm having a beer tonight. I figured I would tell y'all about Birmingham, Alabama when I was younger. I'm 32 now. This is when I was, 2005 to 2010 or something. I don't know. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, me and my friends used to go to downtown Birmingham. And we would go down there because they, no lie, they called it the Dead City. There was an artist, a Birmingham artist, who used to paint pictures. There used to be this big sign in Birmingham downtown that said Birmingham, the Magic City. And this artist painted, it said Birmingham, the Dead City instead of the Magic City. And it was an artist, I don't know, they were famous or whatever. But they did that because Birmingham, around that time frame, 2005-ish, 2006, it had a really, really bad crime rate. We were in the top 10 of most deadly cities in America. And Birmingham was a very small city compared to the other top 10 cities that were on the list, places like Detroit, New York, and all that. But if you went to downtown Birmingham past 9 o'clock, there was nobody down there. I'm talking about this entire city that was empty. All the workers were gone. There was nowhere to live in the actual city at the time. Very few places to live. So we would go down there and it would just be completely dead. We could stand in the dead center of the city in Central Park of the city, and there would be some homeless people sleeping, but other than that, just dead silence. So me and my friends used to get together. We would drive down there or get somebody to drive us down there and just drop us off. And, we'd probably have a 12-pack of beer we'd walk around with. We'd drink beer. And, it's like those, we kind of wanted to reenact those 80s, 90s movies we saw where the kids roam the streets and spray paint and break bottles on buildings and stuff. And we did all that. So we'd go down there, 12-pack of beer, and just wander around, just walk down the middle of the streets, yelling, screaming. And there were no cops because there was no point for cops to be down there. There was nothing down there. And it was great. We would wander in. There was a lot of abandoned buildings at the time in Birmingham. And we would go throughout these abandoned buildings and just we would go to the 10th floor of some of the buildings and just look out and it'd just be nothing. It was pretty awesome. It was scary too because sometimes in the abandoned buildings there would be homeless people sleeping in them and stuff. But I mean, they wouldn't really say anything to you as long as you didn't bother them. But we did that. We would go to the train yard and we would hop on trains, ride these trains. We once rode a train for about a mile and hopped off and then walked back, into the center of the city. That was a lot of fun. You would get really nasty. So we wouldn't wear nice clothes, but you would get really nasty riding trains. But it was so much fun. And it wasn't nothing crazy. These trains would be doing 5 miles per hour. So you could kind of jog and jump on, hang on. We'd climb on top of them and surf them and stuff. We had this one friend, he was really, really big, heavy set guy at the time. He had bad trouble getting on these trains. There was a train one time, it was creeping. I'm not, no lie, it was creeping at 1 or 2 miles per hour. And we all just kind of walked on and we're like, come on, dude. He's like, I can't do it. He's hanging on. I can't do it, man. I can't do it. He's running out of breath. He's kind of dragging some of the way. I can't do it. And just fall off into the gravel. it was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun laughing and making fun of him. One night, he decided to throw a rock at a homeless guy. He even told us he was going to do it. He picked up one of the rocks at the train track and was like, I'm going to hit that homeless guy. Because the homeless guy actually told us to quiet down. And I said, because I try and be respectful, like, no lie. I said, hey, sorry about that. And, like, we kind of chuckled. I'm like, come on, let's get out of here. And my buddy's like, no, I'm going to hit him with this rock. And we're all like, if you hit him with that rock, we're all going to beat you up. And he was like, man, forget y'all. And hit this homeless dude with a rock. I think, like, the statute of limitations is gone now. Like, it was so long ago. And he hit this dude with a rock, and the homeless dude jumps up and starts screaming and running off. When we're all like, are you serious? Why did you do that? The homeless dude runs off, somehow calls the police. They had, no lie, we went and, like, we could hear sirens and stuff, and we're like, dude, he called the cops for real. Like, the homeless guy told us he was calling the cops on us. I was like, let's go hide up under this bridge. One of my buddies had a cell phone. It was rare to have a cell phone at the time. It was a little flip phone. He had a cell phone, so I was like, we're going to hide up under this bridge, and I'll run up and look at the street name, and we'll call one of my buddies. He'll come in his truck. We'll hop in the back of the truck and take off. We'll be gone. And they're like, all right, cool, good idea. There was a helicopter that came down the tracks with it, because they had a police helicopter with a spotlight on it. There was a helicopter that came down the tracks, spotlighting the tracks, and it passed over us, but didn't see us because we were way up under the bridge, like where the bridge meets like the concrete right there. So we're up under that part, and it goes over. I'm like, dude, they're looking for us. They're riding the train tracks. Because it was, I don't think it was a federal offense, but it was a pretty big, like, fine for being on train tracks. And, like, messing around on train tracks, at least. I mean, you could cross train tracks and stuff, but we were, like, messing around on train tracks. And especially, like, hopping trains and graffitiing trains like we were. And, that helicopter goes over. I'm like, dude, they're looking for us. There's no other reason for them to be spotlighting the train tracks. And we sat there for a while. We called my buddy. We're like, hey, come get us. I got the street name. And finally, one of my buddies like, man, forget this. They're not looking for us. Let's go just walk back to the center of the city. And I'm like, no, let's not do that. And everybody else is like, yeah, forget this. Let's go walk back. I'm like, all right, I tell them we're going to get caught. And they're like, no, we ain't, dude. They ain't looking for us. And so we get back up we get halfway into the center of the city, and boom, cop cars, like from all angles, pull up, they hop out, and they're like, we know y'all are the guys that we're looking for, And we're like, how? And they're like, look at yourself. And we're covered in grease, like from hopping trains, like soot and grease. And he's like, we know you guys we're looking for. You can't lie to us. And we're like, yeah. And they're like, why'd you hit the dude with a rock and all that? And we're like, sorry and stuff. And they let us go because they're like, y'all quit being idiots and get out of here. Basically, if we see you here in an hour, we're taking y'all to jail, calling y'all's parents and all that stuff. But that didn't happen because we did have our buddy come pick us up. But it was pretty funny. We had one cop, because this cop made us all put our hands on top of his car. And, like, the cars were white, the cop cars. And once we got done, he was like, y'all get out of here. The car was covered in black handprints from all the soot and stuff. And he's like, I'm going to make y'all wash my car if y'all don't get out of here within an hour. So we bounced out of there. But, dude, it used to be great. Birmingham has turned around big time. I'm talking about, if y'all didn't realize, I'm talking about Birmingham, Alabama, not Birmingham, England. I don't know anything about Birmingham, England. I'm not too far from there, but I don't know if we'll go there. We might. Whatever. I know we're going to London soon. I've got ADD, by the way. That's why I kind of bounce around. But I don't know. That was my Birmingham story. It was a lot of fun just wandering in through. Like, it's just insane. You can't imagine. There's a couple American cities that are like that. It made me think about that because I was watching hockey and I was watching Detroit versus some other team. Detroit's like that. Detroit's a ghost town in certain places. I haven't been, but I would like to go to Detroit just to see that again, because Birmingham has completely turned around. All those abandoned buildings, they've now like either torn down or refurbished and turned into apartments. You can't walk down the street of Birmingham anymore because you get run over. And it's crazy how it changed basically overnight. Like maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago, is when it just completely changed. It just changed overnight. It's insane. Like, we're about to have this huge golf course in the middle of Birmingham, Top Golf, if you've ever heard of that. It's apparently like a worldwide thing. Stuff like that. It's insane. Part of it, I think, Birmingham used to have a ban on beer breweries. Ban on beer breweries, whatever. And they lifted that several years back, and then the breweries came in, and then it just exploded. It's crazy how much just a beer brewery will do to change a city that desperately needed it because there was nothing else. We used to survive on coal and steel, and both of those industries died, and so, you know, we needed something else. So now it's breweries that have brought the city back, but I don't know. It was just insane. If y'all have a city like that or an abandoned place like that you go to, it's crazy to go somewhere and see it and be like, there used to be so many people here, and now there's just nothing. The structures are still there, but there's just nothing. I love places like that. I don't know, there's something eerie about it, but there's something like crazy. Like, why is this place a ghost town? It's just weird. Appreciate y'all watching anyways. Check me out, SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter, and like always, check me out on the streets.